The story of Sutherland, Oregon may surprise you. The trek west was dangerous and filled with perils for the early pioneers. It took years of planning and saving to make the journey westward. Young Fendel Sutherland did just that, packed up from Indiana and traveled out west to a city called Portland in Oregon. Fendel and his companions made their way towards the west. At one point, they were seen by some Sui native warriors. Their fate was death, like many others who've taken the perilous journey. However, God had plans of his own. In perfect timing, Pawnee native warriors, enemy of the Sui, came to their aid. The Pawnee, after asking Fendel and his friends for shot and powder, made the Sui warriors disappear, leaving the men with their lives intact. Fendel made it to Portland in 1847 and worked as a cook in St. Charles Hotel. Since he was a graduate of DePaul University in Indiana, he soon became a school teacher in Amity, Oregon. But that didn't last long. Gold fever struck California and Fendel went for it. However, Fendel soon became ill and had to go back home to Oregon. He then became a teacher at Wilbur's Umpqua Academy when he felt better. James Wilbur oversaw education at the Oregon Institute, which is nowadays Willamette University. He worked closely with Jason Lee, the Methodist preacher that founded Salem. Fendel wrote to his father, Jonathan, and told him of the beauties of Oregon. Jonathan came with cash hidden in his carriage and barrels. At one point, Jonathan Fendel and his crew lost their oxen on the way to Oregon. The oxen went swimming across the river. Jonathan was a pretty tough guy, so he went after him, swimming all the way across the river after him. But he was in despair because he actually lost all his strength swimming across the river, and he couldn't make it back. His good friend, who maybe Porter Wilson of Sumner, Oregon, hollered, grabbed the tail of the oxen as they're swimming back to the crew and make it across. So he did. He grabbed the tail of the oxen and was pulled back to his crew, and he thanked the man dearly for saving his life. He thought he saved his life. A year or two passed, and the donation land laws of 1850 allowed men 21 years and older to acquire hundreds of acres of land. 360 for men, 160 for the wife. The Sutherland family got the land they loved, originally called Camas Swall, for all the beautiful blue camas. The Sutherlands were Methodists and were trying to escape the evils of the East. But the evils of the East shortly followed. Jonathan said everyone had a knife and a gun to defend themselves, not from the natives, but from each other. He supported the local churches and donated generously to the pastors in the area for helping the population get right with God. He also spent time with the Native Americans, preaching the gospel. The story of Sutherland continues, but don't take my word for it. Take a look.